welcome to the Parkland Report. I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs here at Parkland College, and your host today. I am joined today by Donna, who is the Program Manager for Adult Education and Workforce Development. Did I get your whole title?
You got it. Yes.
Great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm excited to chat about some new developments in adult education and in workforce development with you and some special projects that you're working on. But if you could start by telling us a little bit about maybe the scope of things that you work on within adult education. What does that mean? Help us unpack that a little bit.
Sure. So adult education and workforce development, the whole department serves basically three populations. People who don't have a high school equivalency, people whose language is not, whose first language is not English, and people who have a high school equivalency, who speak English, but would like to take a college level class and maybe don't feel like they're prepared. We offer college preparation classes for all three populations.
That's wonderful. So it's a real open door.
Yes.
To come into Parkland if you kind of meet one of those definitions in terms of our student population. So.
Right. And what's really nice is all of those classes are free. All of adult education and workforce development is funded by grants from the state and federal government, and it allows us to get people ready for college without having to pay.
That's amazing. And especially because a lot of students think, hey, I can't afford to come to college, but this is a great first step to get here to Parkland and to get into one of our programs.
Exactly.
So I know we want to dig right into some new developments.
Yes.
That you have some special projects that you've been working on for bridge expansion for career and technical education. So I wanted to turn it over to you to share a little bit about what that entails and what the offerings are right now for students.
Okay, thank you. So career and technical education, and I'm including health professions in that sort of umbrella, are Parkland College programs that are intended to get people into jobs in career and technical fields rather than say immediately transferring to a four-year institution. So what our programs do, our college prep programs, which we sometimes call bridge programs, prepare students to go into one of the entry-level certificate programs in things like industrial welding, machinery maintenance, highway construction training program, nursing assistant, office assistant, computers and business, certificates like that.
Okay. So it's this sort of on-ramp into a lot of different fields. And these are more offerings than we've been able to provide previously, right? Because there was really just a couple options for that bridge from the adult education component into our academic program. So what were those previously and how have we been able to expand those options?
So previously we had both ESL and college and career readiness bridges into health professions and into industrial technology or manufacturing. And what we've been able to do is add office assistant, computers and business, and in both ESL and college and career readiness programs, and then revamp the existing ones to make them more in line with what the college is offering today as opposed to, say, 10 years ago.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. So how has that been possible? Because I know you mentioned grant-funded, free opportunities for students. So, and there's a whole world of grants in adult education. So for the layman out there to understand how is all of this paid for and how are the opportunities provided, what are some of the grant funding streams?
So this year, we're very lucky. We have two sort of one-time opportunities, as far as we know, one-time opportunities. One is the Innovative Bridges and Transitions Grant from the Illinois Community College Board. And the other is the Support for Workforce, I'm gonna get it wrong, SWIFT.
Training.
Yes, Support for Workforce Training grant that the whole college has, and a portion of which is being used to develop and run as pilots some of these bridge programs. In addition, we have what we think of as our usual adult education funding, in particular the English language Civics grant, which is a federal grant that passes through the Illinois Community College Board. And that has been the funding source for our ECNA, English Communications for Nursing Assistant program, for several years.
Great. Yeah, it's so interesting to see how all these different funding streams, and really a lot of that originates with our lawmakers seeing the need in our communities for individuals to have that avenue to come and not only receive an education, but have that really translate into an industry credential or a real trade that someone can go into for that that living wage. I have the pleasure of working on the Support for Workforce Training grant with Donna, and so it's been really interesting to see how we can use those funding streams to expand opportunities. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So what has the reaction been from students so far? Because I know you get to see it on both sides, in the creation side and then also putting it out for students to be able to take advantage of. So what are students saying?
What students are saying is that they're really excited. I think the fact that we were able to do this through the Support for Workforce Training grant, which had a lot of publicity and educated a lot of people in our community about the workforce certificates that were possible to do in a short amount of time, that being able to say, if you're not quite ready for that college level class, you can start here and still have, be able to finish your certificate in a year or less, has been a very powerful statement, that you can start here or start here, and there you're going to have a job. And that's what people really want to know.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I think you mentioned the response to SWIFT, and one thing that's just been really striking is putting it out in the community, and then how many people have responded to say, hey, I'm interested in doing one of these short-term training programs. And so it really feels like Parkland as an institution tapped into a lot of adults that are ready to come and roll up their sleeves and get to work.
Yes.
And it's not just in certain areas. I think previously, the industrial maintenance and nursing, well, there's so many more career opportunities. People want choices too.
Exactly.
So have you seen one program kind of pulling more than another, or are they pretty even?
I would say that the brand new one, the Bridge to Business Management and Administration, has been so popular, both on the ESL side and on the college and career readiness side. There's been a lot of interest in a broader scope than we even were prepared for. There are people who live in our community who were, say, accountants in their home countries, but their English language skills are not good enough to do that here. So getting the vocabulary of a U.S. office is really, they find it very meaningful to be able to say, it's possible that someday I'm going to be able to work in my own career field in my new country. And same thing, for the native speakers, wanting to get a better handle on computer skills before starting a college level certificate, having that 8 weeks of practice, including test taking. People who've been out of school for a while, even if they did very well in high school, if you haven't taken a standardized test in a while, thinking about taking your college assessments can be a little bit, I don't want to say scary, but there's some anxiety with that. And so getting to practice in a free class that is designed specifically to help people pass their college entrance exams has been really popular.
Yeah, and you're not utilizing financial aid.
Correct.
Which there's only a defined timeline that you can utilize financial aid for, so you're not using any of those funds and can get ready before you dive into those, which is interesting. Can you talk a little bit about the GED? Because it used to be that in the older days that adult education was really about GED attainment, but we've really shifted to this career focused programming. So can you talk about that shift and how the GED still plays a role in this program and in what adult education offers?
Yes. Of course, people who don't have a high school equivalency and want one, we help prepare for that. Any one of our classes, whether it's one of the bridge classes or just a regular general college and career readiness class, all of the skills that someone needs to pass their exam are in that class. So if it's the college and career readiness for industrial technology, you're still getting reading, writing, math, social studies, all of the things you need to pass your exams. What a lot of people maybe don't realize is that you don't have to take a class to take your high school equivalency tests. So GED is one of the tests. There's also HiSET and TASC. And someone who feels like they're ready could sign up and take those tests tomorrow if they wanted.
Okay.
So, but again, if you've been out of school for a while or you feel like you need some support in that, then all of our classes are geared to help someone pass those tests or their college entrance exams, whatever it is they need to meet their goals for their next step.
It sounds really individualized for every student coming in the door.
In a way, I mean, we do have set curriculum, but because the classes are open entry, open exit, we say, come when you're ready. When you're ready to take that next step, then go do that. You know, it's not the traditional semester model where you have to come on January 13th and stay until May 7th. We have a way for you to enter almost at any time.
So if a student wants to take the next step,
yes,
how do they find out more information and how do they get in touch with you?
So the best thing would be to call or email, and our phone number is 217-351-2580, or email adulteducation@parkland.edu.
Well, wonderful. Well, Donna, thank you for joining us on the
Thank
show
you.
today.
Glad
Very
to be
exciting
here.
new developments,
Yes.
and we'd love to have you on here in a few months to see how things are going and see how our bridges are serving more students. So.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a break, and when we return, we'll be speaking with Dr. Amy Penne. Welcome back to the show, and now I'm joined by Dr. Amy Penne, who is the Director of Professional Development and Instructional Technology here at Parkland.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you on, and there's a lot going on in your world in terms of instructional technology and professional development, and then also a special project. So we're going to touch on all those things today. So tell me about your role in PDIT. It's your relatively new role for you, but if you can kind of give us the full breadth of what you're working on these days.
Yeah. So professional development and instructional technology has evolved over time at Parkland College. They used to be sort of separate entities, and we have, and we still do have a very robust Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning, and that's where all faculty and staff come for professional development. We're also a hub for professional development opportunities. So part of my job is making sure that faculty and staff know where to get some professional development, how to keep developing as teachers and as staff, because we work with both the faculty and the staff side. So just making sure that the nursing faculty and welding faculty and the ag and EST faculty, as well as English and social science faculty, are continuing to grow and develop as teachers, because new developments happen all the time in teaching and learning. You would think maybe teaching is teaching, but it's not. And certainly the tools change. So the instructional technology, what you can do online, what you can do with different digital resources changes daily. So part of my job is just coordinating those efforts, helping faculty and staff find the professional development that helps them continue to grow and learn, and also providing a space. So our actual Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning is a space where faculty and staff can come and do some training and do some deep dive conversation into changes in students, changes in technology, changes in the educational landscape. So it's a space for conversation, but it's also a hub for resources. So we try to really help all parts of the college grow in terms of professional development.
That's wonderful. And I think one of the greatest things about CEDL and about your area as a resource for faculty, I think it's so critical because when you're out in the community, one of the things that I always make sure to mention when I talk about the benefit of community college is that our faculty are 100% focused on teaching.
Yeah.
And so when that's the case, that providing those resources to continually evolve and grow in the practice of teaching is a core function of the college. And so
absolutely.
What are some of the resources, what are some examples of professional development opportunities are available to our faculty?
So we have several courses that we actually offer. They're called EDU courses. They could be in student development, student engagement. We have a course in instructional technology and instructional technology growth that actually I'm about to lead in a couple of weeks. we have courses in accessibility and making sure that faculty have all the most recent information and tools available to them to make all courses accessible to all learners, no matter what. But we also have a course coming up that faculty are going to lead for each other on classroom research. So partnering with some entities at the University of Illinois, there will be a couple faculty who are working with other faculty to teach students how to do more undergraduate research in the class, and using undergraduate research projects as field opportunities in a variety of different kinds of classes. So we have faculty in social science and faculty in natural sciences working together to create some research projects for students to really grow deeper and also connect with some of the entities at the University of Illinois. I think there's chemistry faculty on both sides of town working together to help make sure that their undergraduate education and our undergraduate education at Parkland kind of work together and grow and learn. So there's a variety of courses. There are also some trainings happening right now over in CETL to help staff really be better at helping all of their employees grow in terms of goals and goal setting at Parkland, and making sure that those goals align with Parkland's goals that we talk about at college planning meetings and those kinds of things, so that everything aligns at the college. It's another advantage at Parkland that, you know, we're very much one organism, one family, and we constantly work together to strive to think about what are our performance indicators. How do we know that we've done good work, and what are we trying to do for this community? And everything, all of our professional development needs to align with that. And so we work together across all kinds of different areas of the college to help make sure that happens, so that our students have the absolute best education they can get.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's incredible that we're sort of all moving in the same direction, mm-hmm. but it also sounds like there are opportunities for enterprising faculty
Yes.
to innovate and to try some new things, which is exciting for students, because it means new opportunities can pop up, and now they are doing research with University of Illinois students and faculty. So what a cool opportunity for them.
Yeah, I think in some ways, you know, a community college can be a little bit more nimble and change and grow and try some different things, because, you know, we have a smaller sample size. So it's nice that we can, you know, our faculty teach smaller class sizes in general than our university colleagues. And so there are different things I think that we're able to do. Our faculty have the exact same training that a University of Illinois or, you know, a major university faculty might have. We have, you know, many faculty with PhDs in the field, and so they're able to come in and really teach students, you know, with that wonderful background that they bring, but then they kind of come to the community college, and where we're really focused on teaching and learning, and we're able to do different things and unique things in the classroom that you might not be able to do in a larger lecture class or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the new tools that you and I have talked about offline is relating to video content,
mm-hmm.
and this is really, you know, the brainchild of multiple people. Lori Went being one of them.
Yes.
Huge proponent and really bringing it to campus. But can you share a little bit about that new tool? Because I think in this visual age,
mm-hmm.
and as a communicator myself, really that rise of video content is how people are consuming information.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What is the tool that's coming to our courses?
It is a game changer. And when we were first introduced to TechSmith Relay, which is a Camtasia product, Lori Went and I were at a meeting where we were watching this creation, you know, how do you do it? And we were both just literally jumping up and down in the room because we were so excited that it's able to do some things. So it's a video creation tool that instructors can use that takes the full functionality of Camtasia, but kind of whittles it down to the 5 or 6 things you most need. So it's very simple to just, you know, kind of be in your pajamas at home on your laptop and make a quality instructional video for our students. There's also a student part of the tool that we're still working on. How do we do it so that students could, with their phones, make a video and utilize that in class as well. There are many of those kinds of tools out there. Students certainly know lots of ways to make videos on their phones, but TechSmith Relay, which we have through the Perkins grant this year, will help faculty who maybe have never made a video you can pretty much learn it and make a video in less than a couple of hours. So it'll be really wonderful to have faculty being able to put those kinds of videos online, utilize them in class, because it changes that engagement. We know from lots of educational research that students really want to see their instructor, even if it's an all online class. It's important that faculty really have that form of engagement with students. I mean, we are in a video and a visual age. We have been for a while. So having a tool like TechSmith Relay, we're so grateful, because it really is simple and makes high quality videos that are easy to caption as well, so that it's accessible for everyone.
That's wonderful. We talk a lot about that connection in person, and so really in CETL as well, though, you talked about the hub and that as the place for connections among faculty and staff, which then certainly translates to a sense of community for students. And so tell me about some recent innovations in the hub. You've got some cool spaces and things that happen there. Do you want to share a little bit with our viewers to get a glimpse into kind of our Parkland culture?
Yeah. This was really when I started this job a little over a year ago. In this particular job, I've certainly been involved with the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning since I started here in 2001. I've spent a lot of time in that center growing and learning and engaging in conversations and having people come in and like L.D. Fink, who is a big educational researcher and teacher. We learned a lot from him. So we've been able to bring people like that into CETL over the years. But one of my goals in the last year was really to create a sense of community. That had just gotten lost a little bit. We just had some transitions. And so there just hadn't been that sense of a space for faculty and staff to come and just grab coffee and snacks and talk. And so that really was one of my top goals when I started, was to make the space itself an actual hub, a hub where people gather. And it was a little slow getting started, and people were like, oh, we can just come in and get coffee and talk, and yes, you can. And out of that has done exactly what I wanted it to do, in that there was one faculty member who came in at the end of last semester and just had some ideas, and we were wound up able to translate that into a session during our prep week that was really helpful and well attended. So just people coming in with ideas, just come in with ideas. And my goal is to try to absorb all those ideas and find a way for each faculty member or staff member to be able to express that in terms of professional development. How can we all grow from your good idea that you just came down here and rattled off over a cup of coffee? So it really has become a hub at Parkland, and I'm grateful. All donated things, like people bring snacks and donate coffee. And so it's really wonderful that it's truly a community space at the heart and the hub of our community college.
In community spaces, it reminds me of a project that you're also working on that I wanted to weave into here, because it's sort of about creating community in the moment, but then also there's this important role of documenting the community and its evolution over time.
Yeah.
And you and I are connecting a little bit on this project, and you're spearheading a new book that is in progress, that is in the maybe research phase.
Yes.
If that's an
it's in the research phase. Yes, it is.
An accurate representation. But do you want to talk a little bit about what that book entails and how it fits into this arc of Parkland's story?
Sure, absolutely. So when I started here in 2001, one of our veteran English teachers, Sally Foster Wallace, was working on a Parkland history book that is called Parkland Works. We still have copies of it around. Maybe some of the viewers have also seen copies of that. And her goal was to detail the history of Parkland College from 1967, its origin, up through 2001, when she was working on the book. And it was really to collect all of the different things that had happened that brought this college together, the actual sort of year by year documented history. But it's been since 2001 that we've had a project like that. And so Dr. Ramage and you and Dr. Lau tagged me last semester to think about what could we do to capture these last 20 or so years. I'm envisioning this project will be something like 2002 to 2022, somewhere in that ballpark. What have we done? Where have we grown? What have we built? We've built buildings, certainly. We've built some community partnerships. We have built programs, so many new programs since 2001. I mean, if we think, oh my gosh, if we think about just some of the adult workforce stuff that we were just talking about, a lot of things in our ag and EST programs, our health professions have really blossomed as well in those 20 years, as well as different projects in the arts and sciences as well. So I want to be able to document some of that growth. So the working title of this volume of Parkland's history is Parkland Builds. That probably won't be the final title, but it is just the theme of how we've built successful alumni, how we've built partnerships, how we've built community, how we've participated with Champaign and our entire District 505 to build students who are able to go out and do something different with their lives, continue to work, learn new skills, go on to wonderful education and do awesome things. How they started at Parkland, I want to be able to tell some of those stories.
That's incredible. We've seen our community just evolve over that time. The students that have come and gone, the faculty and staff that have come and gone and left their mark.
Yeah. And
a lot of those things that people brought or were sort of conceptualized have really grown into something greater. So we're really excited about the book as an institution. But you are looking for some alumni and retired faculty and staff to contribute their stories. So what's your process maybe for getting in touch with them?
Yeah, so looking specifically for students who have been at Parkland and success stories that they have, or even just mild success. It's not like you had to go on and win a Nobel Prize, though it was great if you did. But what are some of the stories that students have about Parkland and how it has shaped their lives? I've talked to several students who went here and their mom went here and their dad went here, and they really have a very powerful attachment to Parkland and really want to tell that story. So I'm looking for those stories. I've been interviewing some retired faculty in particular, started there because I'm starting the book with our Center for Academic Success. That was something that we were working on and building in that early period of this book, 2002 to 2004. So I'm telling the story of our Center for Academic Success. I'll be telling the story. Dave Leake, my colleague who retired from directing the planetarium, I'm going to have a significant amount about Dave in the book and the growth of the planetarium, because it's such a wonderful, it makes such a wonderful impact in our community, and it's something that is so unique to Parkland. So that will certainly be a huge feature in the book, as well as faculty and staff who worked here and really did shape the institution. And so I'm looking for those stories. So this book will be a bit more story-oriented rather than just sort of documentary history. That was important, and this will certainly grow out of that. But I hope to tell more stories. As I've told several people, this probably won't be the actual first sentence of the book, but the first sentence that's in my head is this book and a website and some accompanying other things is a love letter to community colleges, but to this college in particular.
Yeah, that's a wonderful note to end on. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll keep checking in with you as the book evolves and as things continue here at Parkland.
Yes, tell me your stories.
Awesome. Well, that's it for today's episode of the Parkland Report. Appreciate you spending the time with us, and we'll see you in the next episode.